Welcome back. This is week 8 of Composition 3, and I'm here to describe your assignments today. You should be having you Welcome back. This is week 8 of Composition 3. I'm here to describe your assignments today. Hopefully you're having a really good time in this class and you're learning a lot. Also, you're just exploring music in a totally new way and you're gaining tools to understand and make music. Really, that's the goal. So let's get started with our creativity challenge for this week. So we have the uh, Welcome back. This is week 8 of Composition 3, and let's get started with describing our new assignments for this week. So let's start with the creativity challenge. Now, this is something we haven't done yet. This is a song with words. And so this is actually kind of a challenge in some ways because we have to think more than just about the notes and rhythm that we're going to use. We also have to think about how the words fit within both of those, the notes and the rhythm. And so there's a little bit of a challenge for this, but I think it's a good challenge. And I also kept this one pretty short, so that way it's not too hard. I'll also teach you how to add words or lyrics to note flight too. That's an important thing here. So what we want to do is, as we get started with this one, we're going to use the notes that are a good singing range for kids. Most kids are able to sing through this. So we start with the A down here. It's right below middle C. And then we're going to walk up to A in the middle of the staff. But by the way, because we're starting on A, we're going to make this in a major key. So we're going to use the key of A, 3 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Thankfully, with composition, you don't have to think too much about key signature unless you're playing it. And so we just put the key signature in, and because it's all a computer, it'll make it a C sharp anytime you put a C in there. It's fine. Now, the other thing that I want to just point out is one of the hard things about being a composer is deciding how to limit ourselves. We have to have limits in what we do. Now, on this one, I already gave you a limit because we have a whole scale here. Now, we could do all kinds of things with this. We could have a key change in the middle of it. We could do 2 octaves here. I don't really know that many people who can really easily sing 2 octaves. I especially don't know any kids who can sing 2 octaves. And so we want to make sure that we're limited to what's possible. But then we also want to limit it so that it makes more sense. And so even on this song, the way I might compose it, I might only use maybe 5 notes, A through E. I might only use 4 notes, A through D. And those are some ways that we can, it'll make more sense to us as we are putting our music together. But let's get started with this. So what we're going to do, we're going to compose a melody for the words. On a gentle summer day, a tiny bird takes flight, doing cartwheels in the air, it sails from morn till night. And that is our melody here. Now you're going to use 1 note per syllable and start with pickup notes on beat 3 and 4. That's actually a kind of important thing. And I'm going to explain why in a second here. But the first part, use 1 note per syllable. So for example, if you take the words on A, the whole word is all in 1 syllable, right? We say one thing and that's the whole word. But however, we get to gentle, and that there are actually 2 syllables in the word gentle. See how you say there's 2 parts of the word gentle, and so we want to use 1 or 2 notes to compose a line for the word gentle. Same with summers, and then day, that's 1 syllable. And cartwheels, that's another 2-syllable word, isn't it? Okay, so what we want to do is just after we understand that, we want to start on beat 3 and 4. Now, here's why. The way the sentence goes here, on a gentle summer's day. Well, the word on isn't really the main word, is it? We want to really emphasize the word gentle and then summer's day. That's really what we want our listener to hear in this one. And so the words on a well, they're important, but they're not as important to painting the picture that we want to really paint with this one. So that's why I want you to start on beat 3. Now, what I would do is I would actually start. Uh, I use the saxophone for this. Oops. And then we're going to go here. Now, let's see. On a gen. Okay, that's how I want to get started on this with this one. But let me go on a little bit more. On a gentle summer's day. That's kind of how I say it in some ways. That's also how I feel the music should go. And I'll leave this up to you. One of the things you can do with just talk through this phrase several times. On a gentle summer day, a tiny bird takes flight. Do you notice that you're starting rhythm, almost like you're chanting it, right? On a gentle summer's day, a tiny bird takes flight. And a lot of those notes are just pretty even on that one. So I'm going to give it a few more here. On a gentle summer's day. I'm going to make that a quarter note. And okay, one more thing I'm going to show you how to do here is how to add lyrics in. Let's listen to this though. And sounds good so far. Let me teach you how to put lyrics in. So I select the note up here at the top, or you can go to your menu here where it says text, and then you're going to hit lyrics. It's the one that says LA and then a dash. And then you start typing in here. And so you get to type the same line you're on. And then you hit space. It goes to the next note automatically, A. Now, when we get to gentle, let me show you how to do this, because remember, it's 2 syllables. So we're going to do gen, and then we're going to hit dash, and then toll, and then finish off the word there, okay? Same thing with summer. Summer. We actually usually separate it when there's two letters that are the same there. Actually, it should have been day, shouldn't it? Summer's day. You can just select it twice if you need to. Mer's day. There we go. Yeah, and so that's how you add the lyrics in. And so work hard on this one. See if you can do a couple versions of it. Again, start by just saying it out loud, chanting it, kind of get the rhythmic feel of it, and then try writing it down as best you can do. A couple other things might apply. Start on A, end on A. That might be a great way to make it sound kind of the beginning and then the end. It's also I gave you 8 measures here. I guess you don't have to use all 8 measures, but actually I gave you 9 measures, didn't I? No, there's 8 measures because it's the pickup. Yeah, so there's 8 measures. Feel free to adjust that however you want to do. It doesn't have to be that. It can be 4 measures, 5, 6. I'll leave that up to you, okay? Have fun with that one. Now on to our other assignment today. This is more of an arrangement one. We're going to do this song called Tarantella, which is actually a song by Michael Glinka, who is one of the most famous Russian composers who we really know about. He composed in the 1800s. He was part of what we call the Great Five. There were 5 Russian composers emerging out of the late 1700s, definitely into the 1800s, who really changed the trajectory of music in Russia. And so this is a pretty fun song. Now, I wrote it up here. He wrote this for piano. And so one of the things that we can do is we can take piano music and we can arrange it for in this case, a little orchestra here and have some fun with it. I gave you some options here. If you want to leave some instruments out, that's fine. Let's listen to it. Awesome, and that's it. Kind of a fun piece. So the title if you're thinking, hey, that looks like tarantula, it actually is the Italian word for tarantula. It in Italy, like I guess southern Italy, I think even Greece as well. There are tarantulas there, and if there was a dance that went along with a kind of a legend that if you get bit by the tarantula, you go crazy, and so it's kind of a crazy dance, and it's very rhythmic and kind of fun, kind of a fun piece to work with here. Okay, so let's work on arranging this for our orchestra now. So a lot of it is taking what's up here and applying it down below. Remember, we want to make sure that some things match. So for example, our melody, it gets pretty high up here, doesn't it? So I'm probably not going to write this part for, say, our trombone. Okay, I'm going to maybe probably put that in the flute, so I might work on the flute part here. Let's do this. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's some of the melody there. Now notice too on the treble clef line in the piano part, there's more notes there, aren't there? So I might take the bottom notes and apply them to maybe my clarinet here. I think that might be a good idea. Let's get the rhythm in there, and just to check it out. Now notice I have quarter notes here. Okay, so see how I kind of took those parts and I put it down here. Okay, now let's just finish up putting in the rest of the parts here. So we have kind of two parts on the bass clef. You remember how it kind of looked when we did Swiss, the Swiss Variations by Beethoven a few weeks ago. There were multiple parts on the same staff in the piano part. Here we get this half note tied to a half note A, and then we get these eighth notes in there as well. Now notice one thing here. It actually starts with your A, and then but it actually plays them both at the same time, doesn't it? So the way it would sound on the piano, almost like you're holding the pedal down because that A stays the whole time. Okay, and so let's just take this low A, for example, and let's put it in the double bass. Let's make it a there we go, the half note. I'm going to tie it to another half note. Let's add my tie in there. It's right there. There we go. Okay. And then the rest of it, I have a few more notes here to work with. Sorry, you have to scroll back and forth. You can make your window bigger. I made this window so that you would see well, it all fit within the screen of the video here. You might want to do something like this. I would actually leave out the A, and then those are the notes, right? It's actually a C there. E, C, E. So let's change that C. So there we go. And then the next one is G sharp, E, A, E. So let me add that one in there. Make them eighth notes. And I'm going to make that a sharp. Oops, there we go. Okay, now I got all kind of the four parts on the piano part written down here on the orchestra part. Let's hear it back and see how it plays. Okay, so I don't have much more after that one. By the way, if you want to hear it without the piano part, go up to, here we go, parts, and where it says piano, we're going to mute this one. How do you mute it? By the way, if you want to hear the playback without the piano part, go over here to Sound, go to Mixer, and it'll show you this. And then you can actually um, mute, just unclick the piano part, and it should all play back without the piano. There we go. Okay, now as I played that, I actually couldn't hear the melody really well, could I? So I might want to add that in somewhere else. Let's add it also into the violin part. Now, here's a quick little option here. Let's just double it up, copy, and paste. Okay, and then let's also add it into the trumpet too, so that way we get a lot of melody in there. And let's hear it back one more time. There we go. That sounds a lot better, doesn't it? And then for the French horn part, I'm going to add this part in there. And then same for the trombone, but that looks a little high for the trombone, doesn't it? So what I'm going to do on this one, it's okay for the French horn, but on the trombone, I'm going to take this and I'm going to transpose it down an octave. We're going to do this from time to time. And if you remember how to do that, I go to pitch, transpose. Actually, I already have a preset one here. I can go down an octave. And there we go. I have all the parts written out now. Let's listen back to those first two measures. Yeah, and that's how we arrange this for the little orchestra that we have. See if you can, how far you can get with it. Keep going with it. Have fun with it. Also, remember, not every instrument has to be playing at the same time. You can leave some instruments out at different times and then bring them back in. You can highlight some instruments, give other instruments the melody, all kinds of things like that. You know, as you listen to this one, like for example, oh, maybe here. Notice the melody really is here in the middle note, isn't it? So maybe give that to the cellos and the trombones and the French horn, and instead of the flutes and the clarinets and things like that. So, anyways, that's the thing to look for in this one. Have fun with it, and go to town with it. And I'll see you next week. Bye bye.